The Florida Department of Transportation, or FDOT, has created this video to help explain the San Carlos Boulevard, State Road 865, Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study process, and the preferred alternative available for review and comment during the public hearing for the San Carlos Boulevard, State Road 865 PD&E study from north of Crescent Street to north of Hurricane Pass Bridge, also known as Hurricane Bay Bridge. The study begins north of Crescent Street and extends approximately 1.2 miles in Lee County to north of Hurricane Pass Bridge. The department proposes to provide mobility improvements by increasing the travel options along San Carlos Boulevard. The land use along San Carlos Boulevard is a mix of commercial, vacant, and residential development. The project goals of this study are to improve safety and operational conditions and relieve congestion by enhancing multimodal access along San Carlos Boulevard for pedestrians, cyclists, motorists, and transit riders. The need for proposed improvements for San Carlos Boulevard is indicated by a lack of pedestrian facilities and frequent congestion as vehicles access Fort Myers Beach, especially during peak season. Within the project limits, San Carlos Boulevard from north of Crescent Street to the intersection at 5th Street is a 2-lane undivided roadway with 6-foot to 10-foot sidewalks on both sides of the roadway and a signalized pedestrian crossing. There are also left turn lanes onto Crescent Street and 5th Street. From 5th Street to Main Street, San Carlos Boulevard is primarily an elevated 2-lane, undivided urban minor arterial roadway with a dedicated southbound bus and bicycle-only lane and a barrier-protected sidewalk on the east side of the bridge. From Main Street to Hurricane Pass Bridge, the roadway transitions to a 4-lane, divided minor arterial roadway with a 2-way left turn lane and sidewalks on both sides of the roadway. At Hurricane Pass Bridge, the roadway transitions to a 4-lane divided roadway with a designated southbound left turn lane and a barrier-protected sidewalk on the east side of the bridge. The existing speed limit within project limits varies from 25 miles per hour to 45 miles per hour. Throughout this PD&E study process, FDOT has looked at many different concepts to provide mobility and operational improvements on San Carlos Boulevard. At the Alternatives meeting on February 27, 2018, held as part of the Operations Analysis Study, we asked for your input on proposed improvements to San Carlos Boulevard. Based on your comments and additional environmental and engineering analyses, a preferred alternative was selected for San Carlos Boulevard. The preferred alternative for San Carlos Boulevard results in 3 typical sections throughout the corridor. The first section will convert the existing transit-only lane to a general-use lane, providing motorists 3 lanes along Matanzas Pass Bridge, 2 southbound lanes, and 1 northbound lane. The outermost southbound lane will be an 11-foot wide travel lane, while the innermost southbound travel lane will be 10 feet wide. The northbound lane will be an 11-foot wide travel lane. The 5-foot to 10-inch barrier-protected sidewalk will be expanded to an approximately 8-foot 5-inch shared-use path to accommodate both pedestrians and bicyclists along the eastern side of Matanzas Pass Bridge. San Carlos Boulevard would be widened to the west to accommodate 2 southbound lanes onto the Matanzas Pass Bridge south of Main Street. The improvements at the Main Street intersection include a new signal, crosswalks with pedestrian signals and push buttons on all 4 legs of the intersection. This new signal will provide a safe crossing environment for pedestrians and cyclists to access the sidewalk on the east side of Matanzas Pass Bridge. In coordination with LeeTran, FDOT will construct a new bus bay in the southwest corner of the intersection. New sidewalks will connect the bus bay with the existing Main Street Park and Ride lot. The existing southbound right turn only lane that drops into Main Street will be converted to a through lane. Minor widening at this intersection will allow for 2 southbound general-use travel lanes across Matanzas Pass Bridge, and southbound Fisherman's Wharf frontage road will be shifted to accommodate a through lane. The second section will include resurfacing and restriping San Carlos Boulevard between Main Street and Hurricane Pass Bridge to accommodate bike lanes in each direction of travel. The existing signal at Prescott Street and Buttonwood Drive will be converted to a conventional signal operation. The existing alternating signal mode will be converted to a conventional signal operation once the two southbound travel lanes are able to cross Matanzas Pass Bridge. Additionally, the FDOT is conducting a speed study along this portion of San Carlos Boulevard. To promote a safer travel environment for bicyclists, FDOT is planning to reduce the posted speed limit from 45 miles per hour to 40 miles per hour on San Carlos Island. The third and final section will modify Hurricane Pass Bridge to accommodate bicycle lanes in each direction of travel, as well as add a 5-foot barrier-protected sidewalk along the western side of the bridge. There will be two 11-foot travel lanes in each direction and a 10-foot 8-inch dedicated left turn lane in the southbound direction. Additionally, in partnership with Lee County and the town of Fort Myers Beach, FDOT incorporated Lee County's Seafarers Alternative for the 5th Street intersection as part of this project. A new signal will be installed at the 5th Street intersection to replace the existing pedestrian crosswalk signal. New bus bays will be constructed near the Margaritaville Resort and at Crescent Beach Family Park. The reconstructed intersection will enhance public transit access, pedestrian safety, and provide opportunities for landscaping and other aesthetic features. The Seafarers Alternative will include a jurisdictional transfer. As part of this hearing, the FDOT is accepting comments on the proposed jurisdictional transfer of the portion of State Road 865, also known as San Carlos Boulevard, from north of Estero Boulevard to 5th Street. The ownership of this roadway would transfer from the state to county jurisdiction. Throughout this study, a no-build alternative has also been considered. The no-build alternative assumes that no improvements are made to San Carlos Boulevard through the year 2045, except for routine maintenance. Advantages of the no-build alternative include no right-of-way needed, no design, right-of-way, or construction cost, no delays to motorists or inconveniences to property owners along the project corridor during construction, no construction impacts to the natural, physical, cultural, and social environment. Disadvantages include does not meet the purpose and need for the project, incompatible with the Lee County MPO Long Range Transportation Plan, increases risk of crashes involving pedestrians or bicyclists as traffic volume increases on San Carlos Boulevard over time, and does not provide multimodal transportation options for the community. The no-build alternative remains a valid option and will continue to be evaluated until the completion of the study. FDOT evaluated environmental and socioeconomic factors relating to the proposed improvements in accordance with the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969 as amended, and other federal requirements. The evaluation considered the effects of mobility improvements on San Carlos Boulevard on threatened and endangered species, wetlands and floodplains, contamination, Section 4F, water quality, air quality, highway traffic noise, cultural and historic resources, land use, aesthetics, construction effects, and right-of-way requirements and relocations. Please refer to your handout and display boards for more details on these factors. Threatened and endangered species are allowed special protection under the Endangered Species Act of 1973, as amended, and Florida statutes. FDOT assessed species within the project limits and through ongoing coordination with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has determined that the proposed project may affect, but is not likely to adversely affect, the existence of certain federally listed threatened or endangered species. The animal species include the green sea turtle, American crocodile, American alligator, Florida bonneted bat, and the West Indian manatee. In addition, the project may affect, but is not likely to adversely affect, the following state-listed threatened or endangered species: the roseate spoonbill, little blue heron, reddish egret, tricolored heron, and the least tern. Coordination with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service regarding the final status of these has been completed. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service concurs with the determinations of effect and supports the project implementation measures and commitments for protected species. If the preferred alternative is approved by the Office of Environmental Management, FDOT District 1 will continue to work closely with environmental agencies in the future phases of the improvements to meet all environmental permitting requirements. FDOT evaluated wetlands within the project limits in accordance with Executive Order 11990, Protection of Wetlands. The proposed improvements are not anticipated to directly or indirectly impact wetlands or surface waters. The project has been evaluated for potential floodplain involvement in accordance with Executive Order 11988, Floodplain Management. The entire project is located within 100-year floodplain zone AE and VE and will involve minimal encroachment within the coastal floodplain. There is no significant change in flood risk, and the proposed improvements will not result in adverse flooding or floodplain impacts in the project vicinity. There will be no significant change in the potential for interruption or termination of emergency services or emergency evacuation routes as a result of project construction. Results of the environmental contamination screening show that 7 sites were ranked high for potential contamination, 1 site was ranked medium for potential contamination, and 5 sites were ranked low for potential contamination. For sites that are ranked low for contamination, no further action is required at this time. For sites with a risk ranking of high or medium, the FDOT project manager and the District Contamination Impact Coordinator will coordinate on further actions during the design phase that must be taken to address contamination issues. Before construction, specially trained crews will address contamination in these areas as required. Locations of these sites are shown in the concept plans. Section 4F of the Department of Transportation Act of 1966 requires agencies using U.S. DOT funds to consider impacts to public parks, recreation areas, wildlife refuges, and historic or archaeological sites of national, state, or local significance. Proposed improvements include a bus stop located along Crescent Beach Family Park's northern landscape buffer. As proposed, the project will impact approximately 0.14 acres of property from Lee County's Crescent Beach Family Park. As part of the project development process and in accordance with Section 4F of the Department of Transportation Act of 1966, the FDOT is seeking comments from the public concerning the effects of the project on the activities, features, and attributes of the park. The FDOT intends to make a de minimis impact determination for this resource. A de minimis finding confirms that the impacts to the activities, features, and attributes of the park are minimal. The total right-of-way to be acquired for the proposed improvements is approximately 0.94 acres. The project right-of-way needed is as follows: 0.14 acres from Lee County's Crescent Beach Family Park, 0.73 acres from Lee County's Seafarers parcel, and 0.07 acres from the town of Fort Myers Beach vacant parcel. All right-of-way is to be donated by Lee County and the town of Fort Myers Beach. There will be no change in ownership for the impacted portion of Crescent Beach Family Park. No residential or business relocations will result from proposed improvements. All right-of-way acquisition will be conducted in accordance with Florida Statute 339.09 and the Federal Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Act of 1970, commonly known as the Uniform Act. The right-of-way specialists who are supervising this program are here tonight and will be happy to answer your questions. There is no significant impact anticipated for water quality, air quality, highway traffic noise, land use, or aesthetics. Minimal construction effects are anticipated. This matrix shows a detailed comparison of the preferred alternative and the no-build alternative, including potential effects to the social, cultural, natural, and physical environment. It also identifies preliminary cost. The department's preliminary estimate of the total project cost is approximately $9.9 million. The department anticipates completion of this PD&E study by spring 2022. The detailed study schedule is available in the display documents and in the handout. At this time, FDOT's 5-year work program includes funding for the ongoing PD&E and design phases. The construction phase will be funded in the fiscal year 2023. Construction cost is estimated at $7.9 million. We encourage you to review project information and provide comment at the virtual or in-person event, through the project website, by email or by mail, postmarked or sent by February 17, 2022, to Richard Ojevolk, Florida Department of Transportation, at 801 North Broadway Avenue, Bartow, Florida 33830. You may also visit the project website at www.swflroads.com/SR865/San Carlos Boulevard Design to view the project documents on the website. Comments may be submitted at any time, but in order to be included in the hearing record, comments must be submitted or postmarked by February 17, 2022. Technical documents with project information are also available for review at the Town of Fort Myers Beach Public Library at 2755 Estero Boulevard, Fort Myers Beach, Florida 33931, and at the FDOT Southwest Area Office at 10041 Daniels Parkway, Fort Myers, Florida 33913, until February 17, 2022. The purpose of this PD&E study is to evaluate engineering and environmental data and document information that will aid FDOT District 1 and the FDOT Office of Environmental Management, or OEM, in determining the type, preliminary design, and location of the proposed improvements. This hearing follows all federal and state rules and regulations. Please see the hearing display boards for specific information. The environmental review, consultation, and other actions required by applicable federal environmental laws for this project are being or have been carried out by the Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT, pursuant to 23 United States Code, Section 327, and a Memorandum of Understanding dated December 14, 2016, and executed by the Federal Highway Administration and FDOT. Thank you for your interest and participation in the San Carlos Boulevard Project Development and Environment Study public hearing and taking the time to watch this project video.